We live in a world that tells you to manifest your person, do the work, put yourself out there, be visible, be available, be ready. But what if I told you that most powerful thing you can do when it comes to love is absolutely nothing? Welcome to another episode of Her Take by Leila. Genius says, I'm your host, Leila, and today we are getting into something that I feel very strongly about. We're talking about why chasing love is the fastest way to push away, and why the moment you stop looking is usually the moment it finds you. This episode is gonna be real talk, but it's also gonna be uplifting because I've been on this journey myself as well. I've watched people around me and I've paid attention. So let's get into it. So when you're chasing love, what you're really saying to the universe is, I am incomplete without this, and that the energy is felt by everyone around you, especially the kind of high value person you're trying to attract. So let's just break it down in parts. I had a conversation with a friend, and she's been wanting to find love. What I told her is that, why are you looking to find love in all these places when you should be shifting the focus back on you? I feel as though that you should not put your plans on hold, that you should not be traveling to places, because when you're trying to find love, you're putting out energy that you're desperate, that your biological clock is ticking. I think what you need to do is shift the focus back on yourself, focus on your career, focus on you. Just live your life and have fun, because what I did was I had a conversation with the universe and God. I looked at the mirror and I told him of the type of husband, boyfriend, partner that I want, how he looks, how he thinks, his mindset, everything to a T when it comes to his family oriented everything. I had that conversation and let it go. And that was 2 years ago. No, sorry, it was 3 years ago. We're in 2026 right now. And I'm still doing the inner work on myself. I'm really not looking for a man. I'm not looking for validation. I'm really not looking for love, because I just know it's going to find me. So I'm just basically focusing on myself. So that's what I've been doing. But let's talk about the chasing, actually, what it looks like in real life. Because what I said earlier is that not just the obvious stuff. It's not just about sliding into DMs. It's entering situations to be seen by someone. It's performing a version of yourself you think they want. It's checking their page every day, looking for signs. It's making yourself available in ways that you don't serve. You just stay on their radar. Here's the truth. Desperate energy has frequency, and secure. Whole person can feel immediately. It doesn't matter how good you look, how successful you are, how funny you are. If you're operating from a place of need, the right person is going to feel it and pull back. So the contrast with that energy of someone who is generally focused on themselves, which I said earlier, they're not performing. They're not injuring, they're just living their life. And there's something magnetic about a person who's in their own world, so focused on their purpose that love will literally have to interrupt them to get their attention. You can reference, without going too deep, that you've been the person focused on your own lane, building, working, creating, not because you gave up on love, but because you chose yourself first. And the difference in how people respond to that energy versus the chasing energy is night and day. But my question for you is, are you a person who operates from finding love from a desperate, needy energy, that you have to go to bars, that you have to go on dating apps, that you have to go to certain places, travel to find the right person? Or are you the other person who already put their desires and their checklist of the potential husband and partner you're looking for, and you just let it go and you trust the universe and God, and you are shifting the focus on yourself? Which one are you? Let's have that conversation. I want you to think about that. Let it seep in, okay? Let that seep in. But I also want to say that, and this actually brings me to something I was watching recently that sparked this whole episode. So Michael B. Jordan did an interview with Jetty, and he got really honest about something that most men at his level never admit publicly. He talked about the loneliness that comes with success, the isolation of responsibility, and going back and forth between wanting partnership and not knowing how to make it work with everything he has going on. And I'm sitting here listening to, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. While I was listening to that part of the podcast, what he was talking about, because that's the topic that got me inspired to talk about this. I just feel though that people really need to sit themselves like, why do I need to sacrifice my time and career to put you somewhere where you need to be in my life? Here's the thing. If you are a person who makes six figures a year, depending where your career is, how busy it is, no matter what happened, there will be somebody there for you and they will understand your life of how you operate. If they don't understand how you operate in life, if they don't understand how you are as a person when it comes to your career and your friends and family, they're not the right person for you. Nobody should not ever dim their spotlight or sacrifice to put their career in hold because of love. Love is supposed to be making easy things for you. Love is not supposed to be complicated. It's supposed to be just effortless and easy. So when I saw that part, I'm thinking to myself, like, why do we need to sacrifice? Why do we need to put things on hold? I mean, I don't really know him personally, but my advice to him is that when I was watching that part, I would tell him that just because your career is on the high of a rising and you're booked and busy, you will find somebody at the right time and they're going to put that person there for you. And they are going to understand you as Michael, not just Michael B. Jordan, the superstar. They're going to understand as you as a human being. They're going to understand everything that comes with that. When I have the conversation with other women, I always tell them that you should not sacrifice your career or anything for a man because you build that empire. So he should not be threatened by your success. He should not be threatened about your spotlight. And that goes for women as well and men. But I just want to touch a little bit about that. So let's get back into the episode. There's something nobody really talks about, honestly. You can be at the top of your game, successful, respected, surrounded by people, and still feel deeply alone. And that loneliness isn't weakness. It's the reality of operating at a level where very few people truly understand the weight you carry. Then you have the high achievers, whether you're a CEO, entrepreneur, an artist, an athlete, or I don't know, a superstar. They carry a kind of responsibility that isolates them, i.e., Michael B. Jordan, which I discussed earlier. And the people around them often want something from them: access, proximity to their success. So they learn very quickly who's real and who isn't, and that makes them guarded. For those people, love cannot be forced or scheduled. They can't just download an app and find their person because they have to finely tune radar for the wrong intention they feel it before you even open your mouth. This is why so many highly successful people end up in the situationships or with the wrong person, because they're so used to being approached by people with agendas. And that's when somebody who seems genuine comes along. They don't always trust it. The wounds runs deep. What they actually need is, and this is the part people miss, is someone who has their own world, their own career, their own purpose, their own thing going on. Someone who isn't trying to orbit around them, but is moving on their own axis. That kind of person is weird. And when a high achiever finds them, they pay attention differently. And I don't blame them. But you can reference noticing this pattern, watching women in rooms perform for men who can see right through it. The ones who got noticed weren't the ones trying to hardest, and they were the ones who were just being themselves and couldn't care less about being noticed. Let's talk about doing the inner work and changes your frequency. So when you heal and align, you stop attracting the wrong things and the right things start finding you. Let's discuss that. I mean, let's use me an example. So, what I have done to do to attract the right things in my life, I've pretty much done shadow work. Another thing is getting like a spiritual advisor that can help you tap into your spirituality and to help you connect with your ancestors and connect with yourself spiritually. Third is to get a therapist to tap into those trauma that you have dealt with childhood and adulthood as well. Lastly, get a life coach, get a mindset coach to tap into your mindset of going over those limiting beliefs when it comes to the relationship with yourself and also with your potential partner as well, of why you keep attracting the wrong people in your life. Also, another thing I would advise people to do is, if you're open to it, get a natal chart reading. Find somebody and research them if they're able to read your chart to pinpoint what things and blind spots of what you're missing, of why your past relationships didn't work, and to also see what you can do to better yourself as a stronger partner when you have the next person coming into your life. But here is where it gets real. A lot of people say they want love, but they haven't done the work on themselves to be ready for what they're asking for. And the universe is not going to send you something you're not prepared for to receive. What I said earlier is that you need to do the inner work. So let me just paint you a picture. You ask the universe, I want a man who is tall, who's family oriented, who is caring and nurturing, and who is financially secure and stable. So you're asking the universe this, but my question for you, what work have you done? This is what's going to happen. They ain't going to send you that. I'm going to tell you why, because you haven't really done the work to literally be that partner to have that type of man. So if you asking for all of this, what type of person are you to get that? You have somebody who is already established, who is very high value, who already done the work. But have you done the work? Have you had a conversation yourself of what certain things you need to work on when you're being in a relationship? Are you still that insecure girl who has trust issues, who has abandonment issues, who does not see her beauty in a high level, who worries about what people think about her? What have you done to do the work to get this type of person in your life? That's the question I want to ask you. So I think every woman needs to ask themselves that question before you even ask the universe and God praying for a man. I know y'all doing the Sierra prayer because you're praying for a Russell. If you want a man like Russell, you need to do the work before you get that man. And that goes for men too. What makes you think you're going to get a Michelle Obama? If you want that type of lead woman, you need to do the work. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I refuse to date somebody who's broke, who's struggling. I need a man who's already established, who already knows himself, who already has the groundwork done. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's just me. But let's talk about inner work. What I discussed earlier was shadow work, self-reflection, healing old wounds, understanding your patterns, not in a preachy way, but from your own experience. You started doing this work and you noticed a shift, not just in how you felt about yourself, but in what you were attracting and how you were moving through the world. So when do the inner work, you get clear on what you actually want, not what you think you should want or what looks good on paper. You get clear on your non-negotiables. You get clear on your worth. And that clarity is powerful because it means you stop settling for things that are almost right. Don't ever settle for the bare minimum. Always know what is your worth and what you want in life. So let's talk about setting an intention and letting it go. So the law of assumption, you decide what you want. You feel it, you believe it, and then you release it. You don't obsess over it. You don't check for it every day. You just go live your life, and what's meant for you moves towards you. The shift happens when you go from I need to find love to I'm becoming the person who is ready for the love I want. That's completely different energy. One is chasing and one is becoming. And becoming looks like focusing on your career, your healing, your purpose, your relationships with family and friends, your creativity, your growth. Getting so full within yourself that love would be an addition to your life, not a solution to emptiness. So, without being too specific, that you've had moments where you've been shown things, visions, signs, sequences, and the ones that felt most real when you were focused on them. They came when you were focused on yourself and your path. And that's the universe confirming you're on the right frequency. So let's talk about what's stopping looking actually means. This is not about giving up, it's about trusting yourself. So I want to be clear because I know someone is going to hear stop looking and think I'm telling you to give up on love. That is not what I'm saying, and that's not the message I'm trying to convey with you. Stop looking means stop making love the center of your focus when it's not your reason yet. Stop rearranging your life to be more refinable. Stop performing for people who haven't earned the real you yet. So, this means trusting that the right person doesn't need you to chase them. They will be placed in your path. It doesn't matter how busy you are, how you are on your career, how much you're moving. When it's time, love will find you. You can meet your person at a work event, on a flight, through a mutual connection, at a random moment you weren't expecting. The universe doesn't care about your schedule. It doesn't need you to be available. It needs you to be aligned. And aligned means whole, healed enough, clear enough, confident enough, focused enough on your purpose. That's when the right person shows up, you recognize them, not because you were looking, but because you were ready. So here's what I want you to take away from today's episode. Stop chasing, stop performing, stop injuring situations to be seen by someone who should be finding you. Get focused on your own life. Do the inner work. Build your thing, heal what needs to be healed. Get clear on what you want, and then let it go. The right person, the one who's actually meant for you, is not going to require you to run to them. They're going to show up in the middle of your regular life. Something is going to feel different, and you'll know, not because you were looking, but because you were ready. That's my take. As always, I'm bothered, unfiltered, unapologetic. This is Her Take by Leila. I'm Leila, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.